Rising above Beverly Hills, Greystone Mansion is one of the grandest estates in Southern California. But despite its grandeur, the architectural opulence has been overshadowed by an unsolved crime. Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1892, Edward L. Doheny struck oil near downtown Los Angeles, drilling the first successful well in the city. What followed was a flood of oil, profits, and power. Doheny expanded into Mexico, gaining control of vast reserves and amassing a fortune rivaling Rockefeller's. His only son Ned, born in 1893, was raised in the lap of luxury. After marrying Lucy Smith, a Pasadena socialite, Ned worked in his father's companies and moved comfortably within elite Los Angeles circles. But by the early 1920s, the Dohenys became entangled in the infamous Teapot Dome scandal. Edward Doheny had secretly funneled $100,000 to Secretary of the Interior Albert Fall in exchange for favorable oil leases. It was Ned and his assistant Hugh Plunkett who physically delivered the cash. Although Doheny Sr. was eventually acquitted, the scandal brought stress, scrutiny, and legal threats to the family. In the midst of it all, Doheny decided to build a monumental home for Ned, perhaps as a refuge, perhaps as a symbol of triumph. In 1926, Doheny Sr. purchased land in Beverly Hills and hired architect Gordon B. Kaufman to design a mansion for Ned and his growing family. The estate, named Greystone, slowly shaped into a 46,000 square foot Tudor-Revival masterpiece made of Indiana limestone with Welsh slate roofing. Completed in 1928 at a cost of over $3.1 million, it was the most expensive private residence in California at the time. Just to lend some perspective, that would be equivalent to about $58 million today. It towered above the gatehouse, where you would enter the property and begin winding up the drive. And as you did, you would find rolling lawns and a series of gardens, some more natural in appearance, others very formal. These included the lily pond, a secluded water garden under the shade of mature trees, and the cypress walk leading us alongside a massive stone terrace. As we continue wandering about, we find stone paths winding away from us, promising visual surprises at each bend. Atop the terrace, we come across a large fountain set against the Los Angeles skyline. Zooming out, we can see how all of these elements were planned to come together, and how from each angle the estate was designed with a cohesive emerald necklace to frame the main house. Speaking of which, let's pull through the porte cochere to arrive at the entry court. This intimate courtyard is really the crux of the entire property, with each path and drive branching off to a new destination. Inside were 55 rooms, marble floors, carved oak staircases, a grand ballroom, and even a secret Prohibition-era bar near a two-lane bowling alley. Without further ado, let's begin exploring the mansion from the hall, with rich wood cladding the walls below a dazzling Jacobean ceiling. Below the ornate rug, checkered marble floors span the entire hall. And if we look past the arcade, we gain a glimpse of the grand staircase. Let's continue forward. The grand bifurcated staircase continues with those same checkered floors at its landing, but its truly captivating feature is the hand-carved balustrade wrapping the staircase and crowning the lower arcade. Nearby we find the living room, with a hammer beam ceiling soaring nearly 3 stories overhead. We can take a closer look at the arcade, noting the sheer craftsmanship of the tapered columns and the intricate frieze. To the other end of the hall is the library, continuing with wood paneling set below a barrel-vaulted ceiling bearing similar Jacobean motifs. The next room over is the dining room, where we can imagine the table set with many leaves to host dinner parties of 20 guests or more. This opens towards the breakfast room, where the family would have been more likely to dine when not entertaining. And for as celebrated as the house would be in publications, Greystone would soon become infamous. On the night of February 16, 1929, just months after the family moved in, 35-year-old Ned Doheny was found unalive inside a guest bedroom along with another person, one Mr. Hugh Plunkett. Police quickly determined that Plunkett was mentally unstable and had done them both in. But as details started to emerge, suspicions arose. Why had the Doheny family delayed calling the police after finding the two? Why was Ned buried outside Catholic consecrated ground, as if he'd committed some unforgivable sin? For decades, rumors swirled. Some whispered that Ned had done the deed himself, others suggested a deeper cover-up related to the Teapot Dome fallout. No formal inquest was ever held, and the full truth remains a mystery to this day. Remarkably, Ned's widow Lucy remained at Greystone with her children. In 1932, she even remarried at the mansion. By the 1950s, maintaining the massive estate had become a burden. Lucy sold off much of the land to developer Paul Truesdale, who created what is now Truesdale Estates. In 1956, she sold the mansion itself to industrialist Henry Crown, who leased it out as a film set. When demolition was proposed in the 1960s, the city of Beverly Hills stepped in, purchasing Greystone and saving it from destruction. The estate was later added to the National Register of Historic Places, and today it serves as a public park and a beloved filming location. Greystone has appeared in dozens of movies and TV shows, from Star Trek to Spider-Man, and music videos ranging from Mariah Carey to the Go-Go's. But its real story is stranger than fiction. It's a monument to LA's oil wealth, an unsolved crime scene frozen in time, and a public treasure shaped by one family's rise, fall, and enduring legacy. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. Let me know your thoughts on Greystone down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.